Opening: The Mechanical War. Vietnam was never just a jungle war. It was a war where machines fought the land itself. Mud swallowed roads. Mines erased convoys. Heat destroyed engines. Every vehicle sent into Vietnam was pushed past its limits. This conflict wasn't only fought by soldiers. It was fought by steel, tracks, tires, and engines, struggling to survive one of the most hostile battlefields in history. In this video, we break down every major U.S. land vehicle used in the Vietnam War, from heavy tanks to tiny utility machines, and how they adapted, or failed, inside a war built to destroy machines. Tanks and combat armor. M48A3 Patton. The M48A3 Patton was the backbone of American armor in Vietnam. With thick steel armor and a powerful 90mm gun, it dominated direct combat and provided critical cover for infantry units. When the Patton arrived, it brought overwhelming firepower. Enemy positions were crushed. Firefights tilted instantly. But Vietnam punished weight. Mud trapped the tank. Narrow roads limited movement. Hidden mines turned every advance into a gamble. Still, when raw force was needed, the M48 delivered. M48A2C, earlier variant. The M48A2C was an earlier version, powered by a gasoline engine. It saw extensive service with South Vietnamese forces, especially during the early years of the war. While its firepower matched later Pattons, the gasoline engine made it more vulnerable to fire and mechanical failure. In Vietnam's heat, reliability became survival. M67 Zippo, flamethrower tank. The M67 Zippo replaced its main gun with a flamethrower. Its purpose was simple: erase bunkers, tunnels, and dense vegetation. In jungle warfare, visibility was limited. The enemy could disappear in seconds. Fire removed that advantage instantly. The Zippo wasn't just destructive, it was psychological warfare on tracks. M551 Sheridan, airborne firepower. The M551 Sheridan was designed for airborne operations, lightweight, fast, capable of being dropped directly into combat zones. Its massive 152mm gun launcher delivered shocking firepower. But the aluminum hull raised concerns. Protection was limited. Reliability was inconsistent. Even so, it gave airborne troops something rare: mobile, heavy firepower in the jungle. M41 Walker Bulldog. In the M41, Walker Bulldog favored speed over armor. Highly mobile and well-liked by its crews, it proved effective against enemy armor when terrain allowed movement. In skilled hands, speed became its shield. M24 Chaffee. A veteran from World War II, it saw limited use early in the conflict before being phased out by newer designs. Vietnam marked the end of its long service life. M50 Ontos. The M50 Ontos was unlike anything else on the battlefield. 6 recoilless rifles mounted on a single chassis. It was devastating at close range and especially effective in urban combat. Marine units relied on it heavily during intense fighting, including major city battles. Protection was minimal. Firepower was overwhelming. M56 Scorpion. The M56 Scorpion looked fragile, unarmored, exposed, but its 90mm cannon hit hard. Designed for air transport, it allowed light units to strike armor fast and disappear just as quickly. Armored personnel carriers and cars. M113. The M113 was the most widely used armored vehicle of the war, an aluminum box on tracks. It carried troops through gunfire, shrapnel, and ambushes. It wasn't built to fight. It was built to survive long enough to deliver soldiers into combat. M113A1. The M113A1 replaced its gasoline engine with diesel. More reliable, less flammable, better suited for long missions. It quickly became the preferred version. M113 ACV. The ACV modified the M113 for heavy combat. Additional machine guns, gun shields, increased firepower. It transformed transport vehicles into assault platforms. M132 Zippo. The M132 Zippo mounted a flamethrower on an armored carrier. It followed infantry units and flushed hidden enemy fighters from thick brush and bunkers. M106 and M125 mortar carriers. These vehicles carried mortars inside armored hulls. Indirect fire support, delivered safely and quickly. M577 command vehicle. The M577 served as a mobile command post. Packed with radios and maps, it allowed commanders to control battles while staying mobile. M114 scout vehicle. The M114 was designed for reconnaissance. In Vietnam's mud and rice paddies, it struggled. Eventually, it was replaced. V-100 Commando. The V-100 protected supply convoys. Fast, tall, heavily armed. It was ideal for responding to sudden ambushes. Utility and light vehicles. M151 Mutt Jeep. The M151 Mutt was the standard utility vehicle of the war. Lightweight, versatile, but its suspension made high-speed turns dangerous. Recoilless and missile jeeps. Some Mutts carried recoilless rifles or anti-tank missiles. Small vehicles, big firepower. M38A1 Jeep. An older design, still in service during the early years. Simple, rugged, reliable. M422 Mighty Mite. A tiny aluminum Jeep built for the Marines. Light enough to be lifted by helicopters over dense jungle terrain. M274 Mechanical Mule. A flat four-wheeled platform. It hauled supplies and weapons through paths too narrow to trucks. M561 Gamma Goat. A six-wheeled articulated vehicle, designed for extreme terrain. Loud, difficult to drive, but capable where others failed. Logistics and heavy trucks. M35 Deuce and a Half. The backbone of military logistics. Fuel, ammo, food. Without it, nothing moved. M54 5-ton truck. Heavier, stronger, built to haul massive loads through mud and damaged roads. M123 10-ton tractor, used to transport tanks and oversized equipment across long distances. Amphibious cargo vehicles. Some trucks could swim, others crossed rivers and deep mud to reach isolated fire bases. Artillery and anti-aircraft. M107 and M110, massive self-propelled guns, capable of striking targets over 20 miles away. M109 Howitzer, the standard artillery platform of the war, reliable, armored, deadly. M42 Duster, twin 40mm guns, built for aircraft but devastating against ground targets. M163 Vulcan, a Gatling gun on tracks, thousands of rounds per minute, pure suppression. Engineering and recovery. Recovery vehicles towed damaged tanks. Bulldozers cleared jungle. Bridge layers crossed rivers in minutes. War didn't stop for obstacles. Amphibious assault vehicles. Massive tracked vehicles carried Marines from ships directly onto land. Some carried troops, others carried howitzers. Support and medical. Repair vans fixed equipment in the field. Fuel tankers kept engines alive. Ambulances evacuated the wounded. Forklifts moved endless supplies. Even motorcycles carried messages and escorted convoys. Closing. Victory in Vietnam was never just about firepower. It was about movement, supply, survival. And every machine sent into the war told a story of adaptation or failure against a battlefield that refused to be conquered.